What is up, my dudes and dudettes? Welcome to It's Now Gwendolyn, where I am now Gwendolyn. Today we're answering some translated questions. They've been from lives, in-person questions, or ones that my friends have texted me. It's going to be either focused on my specific transition or just being trans in general. I've got a various few, some of them inappropriate, some of them very appropriate, some of them kind of political. We'll go through them all. Some of them I might decide to make a full video on in future. There's a couple here about like, oh, how did your family and stuff react? I'll cover it briefly, but that'll be a future video. I'm going to take these off for the pure sake of, you can see my eyes. But yes, but before we start, I do want to give a very quick disclaimer that I do not speak for all trans people. I am not a trans spokesperson. I can speak for myself in my transition, my very early transition. I will not, have not, and do not vouch for anybody else's experience. This is not a one-to guide, and these questions, some of them are personal. So do not feel that you should, could, or will ask them to other trans people, especially if you don't know them too well. I have specifically asked for questions, I have gave my boundaries, I've said what you can and cannot ask, and I've been asked appropriate questions based on what I deem appropriate. So please do not take this as a guide, do not take this as a guide, don't take this as me speaking for other trans people, and please do not go out and ask your trans people or anybody around you these questions unless you know that you're allowed to. Having that said, let's jump straight into the first question. Bam. Right, okay. First question is probably one that I like the most. I'm looking over here at the questions, by the way. One that I find myself answering a lot, so I'll do this just now. How did I choose my name? So obviously, born different name from what I go by now. I'm not scared of my dead name. My birth name's Ben. I chose Gwendolyn for a few reasons. Number one is even before I kind of knew I was trans, I wanted a longer name. I wanted things like, I wanted to be Benjamin, because Benjamin sounds so much cooler. But I wanted to be Benjamin. I wanted that option to have it longer. So I knew that when I transitioned, I wanted to have a longer name. I wanted to have something that sounded kind of formal. But I also wanted the ability to shorten it. So I was looking for names that were long, but also work while shortened. I'm also a huge Ben 10 fan. And a Spider-Man fan. So being called Ben and being a Ben 10 fan, in case you don't know, Ben's cousin's called Gwendolyn. And in case you're not a Spider-Man fan, Spider-Gwen. So being a gymnast, being a nerd who loves Ben 10, Gwen made sense to me. It sounded similar, it had the EN, it had the ability to be Gwendolyn, which was longer, and it fit with Gwendolyn Tennyson and Spider-Gwen, or Gwen Stacy. So yeah, I went with Gwendolyn. That was my reasons, and I fucking love it. My mum hates it. My mum thinks that she should have got the ability to choose, but I like Gwendolyn. Next! Okay, these two, I'm going to do two in a row. Oh no, wait. Technically 3 in a row. These ones are all ones that I've got from TikTok lives that I've done, which I think are hilarious. But let's go through them all. So the first one is, why not just be straight and cis? No idea. It would have been a lot easier if I was straight and cis, if I wasn't bisexual and trans. I would have loved to have been straight white man, but I'm not. I don't really get that choice. It's the only choice I get is how much of me I want to be. So I could pretend to be straight and cis, but I don't want to be. I want to be me. And this looks infinitely hotter than me normally, so fuck it. Next one from TikTok is, will it shrink? This is referring to when someone who's MTF goes on HRT, and it's them talking about your dick. Don't know, I'm not on HRT. I've been told that it does. I believe the phrase, if you don't use it, you'll lose it, is very common, but I don't know. Mine's just still there, I don't know. And my favourite one, why not turn to Christ? Now, at risk of offending any Christians in the audience, because I do have some Christian friends, why do I not turn to Christ? Because I'm not Christian. Because I don't want to. I'm pagan. I'm not going to turn to Christ because from everything that I've heard, from the hate that I get from Christians, it's not someone I want to associate with, it's not someone I want to worship, it's not a God that I could see myself believing in. And unfortunately, despite what people think, you can't force belief. You believe or you don't believe. Some atheists will never be agnostic, they'll never be religious because they don't believe. And you'll never get Christians believing in Zeus or Hades or any of that because they do not believe. You can't force belief, and you shouldn't push your beliefs on someone else. Religion done. Next. Right, okay. Next one, is it scary? So is transitioning as a whole scary? Yeah. It's fucking terrifying. It's the scariest thing ever. And sometimes I hate it. It's terrible, like, because you need to be someone who you want to be, but you need to be somebody that everybody else doesn't want you to be. I can't walk downtown, I can't get the train, I can't go on Facebook and that, or post a TikTok without somebody disliking how I present, how I act, how I look. And I'm not even, like, I don't even look, I just look gay, guys. Like, as much as I'm trans, I don't look feminine, I just look gay. So people just dislike on it, they hate on it, you get comments about it, you get snide looks. I've had people in public come up to me and like confront me about it. It's shit. Is it scary? Yes, because you don't know how people are going to react. And there is a question about how people reacted in this, so I'll get to that, but you don't know how people's going to react. And that's terrifying. Because for all you know, your best friend of X amount of years is the most transphobic person you know. But because you've never had to deal with a trans person near them before, you never knew that. And it's terrifying the fact that you can tell them that and they might go, fuck you then. Thankfully, I didn't have that, but it's a scary thing to know that, what if? It is scary. Next! Okay, this is a really good one actually. I can't remember who asked this, but does being trans change your sexuality? Yes and no. So, in my case, no, it didn't. I was bisexual before, I'm bisexual now. But had I been a straight man and then transitioned, I would be a lesbian woman. If I was a gay man and then transitioned, I would be a straight woman. In my case, it doesn't change because I'm bisexual regardless. But yes, being trans does change your sexuality. It flips it, unless you had an unless you had a very broad one like me, which is bisexual, which is I don't discriminate against stuff. Not discriminate, that's a poor word, but I don't mind. Gender isn't something that I look at in my partners, but for some people who have a preference for one gender, yes, it will flip when you're trans. So if you're a man who likes men, when you transition to a woman, you'll be a woman who likes men, so you'll be straight. That's how it works. But that's a good question. Next! Okay. Can I touch your tits when you get them? This is coming from the same person that says, if we fuck, does that make me gay? So to answer the first one, probably not. No, you can't touch my tits. Don't have tits yet, but when I do have them, you won't be getting to touch them. And if we fuck, does it make me gay? This came from a man. And honestly, it depends. Are you fucking me because I'm a woman? Or are you fucking because I've got a dick? Because one of those makes you gay, and the other one makes you straight. Or pan, but still. That's up to you, it's about your intentions. I'm gonna very quickly just... Next one, now these three are from my friend, I'm not gonna name drop them, but they're from my friend and these are really good ones. So I made a point, I'm gonna sit and proper talk about these ones. So, what has been the hardest part of your transition so far? Hardest part so far, for me, has been two things. It's been one, the financial cost of it, that I have to buy a lot of new things, but also that I do want to start HRT and it costs money, which I do not have. And that's a really hard thing mentally because it's something you want so desperately, but you just can't. This is really annoying me. You just can't do it. There's nothing I can do to start the HRT. There's no money in my bank, there's no government help. Like, I'm on the waiting list, but what else can I do? And the other part is understanding who I was. It took me a while to understand who I was. And imposter syndrome hit me like a mad lad. It was so difficult. It was severely difficult. And the imposter syndrome was really bad. And I think that actually leads into his next question. Do you ever feel unsure about transitioning, or is it something you feel certain about? I'm certain. I was trying to think about how to phrase that. I'm very certain. I feel like there is times where I feel insecure or unsure, but I don't think it's from me doubting myself. It's from like internalized imposter syndrome and maybe a little bit of internalized transphobia. But no, I don't doubt myself, but I get really scared that I'm maybe making the wrong choice. But then when I really sit there and think about it, I'm like, no, I'm making the right choice. But then sometimes if my mood's really low, or if somebody's commented on me that day, or if I have a particularly just bad mental health day, I will sit and think, like, is this something I really want? Because it's almost like I'm trying to psych myself out of it. And so far, in the past year, I've not been able to psych myself out of it. I'm still here, I'm still taking steps. But no, I get very bad imposter syndrome, I get very bad dysphoria, and that leads to me being like, oh, but what if this, and like kind of wanting myself to not be trans. But then I think about me on HRT and I'm like, but no, yeah, it's something that I debate a lot, but it's not something I'm uncertain on. Like, it's a weird thing to speak. It's weird because it sounds when I'm saying it out loud that, oh, you're just not sure. I'm very sure. I'm very positive. I know what I want and I know who I am. It's like my brain's trying to tell me, like, but what if you're wrong? It's like my anxiety's kicking in. My anxiety's like, but what if you're wrong? What if he gets 4 years in a line and you're like, decided not to? And that's something I can't control. But right now, and for the past year, I have been fully certain on it. So I'd say I'm certain. There's just some flags that come up every so often. Same way with everything though. You might get it in your career, you might love your job, love the people around you, love how much you're making, but your brain will go, is this what you want to do for the rest of your life? And for some of you it'll be a yes. For most of you it'll be a yes if you're making good money, good people, doing what you want to do. But it doesn't mean you're not going to think, but what if? What if's always going to be there. For me, I would rather do what I'm doing just now and be wrong 5 years down the line than get 5 years down the line and go, oh, no wait, I did really want that. I'd rather not live for that what if. I'd rather try it. And that's the bottom line for me. And then the final one from my friend was, what's the most unexpected thing that you've enjoyed about the whole experience so far? He's put a lot of thought into these. I love this. This is great. This is amazing. Most unexpected thing that I've enjoyed about the experience so far. Just say, I've not actually looked or put much thought into any of these prior to like this video. That I'm looking at all these for the first time here. All I've done is copy and paste them. That's it. One thing that I really enjoyed was how little transphobia I got from people around me. Actually, I had a few people from school reach out to me who I wasn't like particularly friends with, who I've not spoke to in years, and they would be really nice to me and they would be like, look, I appreciate it's hard, like, you keep doing you, and they're really genuine, they're really nice, and that made me feel amazing. Because like, it's the kind of people that, you're like, oh, you're going to be transphobic, but it's people that you wouldn't expect to reach out and be nice to you, that you wouldn't expect them to, for no reason other than for the sake of being nice, make you feel as good as what it made me feel. And that felt really good, like, knowing that even those who are outside my circle accept and support me, despite the fact that there is 2 to 3 year Dagestans in all my TikTok comments. Like, it feels really good, and that's something that I really enjoy. And another thing about the actual transition is how free I feel. Like, I get to wear clothes that I want, I get to wear makeup, and I get to feel and look and act pretty, and I can do it my way. I don't feel like I need to like pretend anymore. It just feels like me. But no, I really enjoy just being myself, and that's probably the thing that's been the most enjoyable for me, being able to sit and just talk and not feel like I'm acting some way that I don't want to act. And also making people think they're being transphobic. That's fucking hilarious. When someone says my name wrong, my pronouns wrong, and I pure act like a drama queen, and I'm like, oh! That's funny. That's what I like. That's what I like to do, is make them feel terrible for no reason at all, and then laugh at them when they start crying. Okay, I'm not kidding, but I'm kidding. Right, okay. Few more questions. Do you want to get bottom surgery? Yes, cost me 60 grand. If you want to donate, text me because that is going to take me a while to save up for. Are you going to go on hormones? I am. Once I have the money for it. I'm just having some financial troubles. So once I've got money for it, I will do that. And then we've got 2 more questions. These are 2 really good questions, and I'm going to save my favourite one till the end. So, how long did it take you to realise? So I am going to make a full video on this, go more in depth about my feelings throughout everything, but the like timeline was basically, it took me about 4 years to realise. 3 years. I kind of thought / realised it when I was 16. I cross-dressed and then went, oh, this is becoming too enjoyable, I like this too much, and I stopped it because I didn't want to be trans. I wasn't experienced in gender identity. I didn't know what it was. I'd never been educated on it, and I went, oh, I don't want to be one of those, and so I stopped it. And it kept popping up. I kept wanting to do it. I kept enjoying it. I kept wanting to experience it again. So as I got older, I was like, I'll do this again. And then I was like, oh no, I don't want it because I'm enjoying it. I feel too comfortable. And then eventually I went, fuck, right, okay, let's research this, let's get into this. That was about 1.5 years ago. So it took me about 3 years before I was finally like, okay, I'm trans, right, let's move on, let's deal with this, let's put steps in progress. But there was 3 years of denial in that. Before that I finally was like, right, okay, I'm an adult, I can do my own research, I can make my own decisions, let me see what and who I am. And the final question is from a friend, and it's a really good one. It's actually the first question I got, and I was like, yes, which bathroom do I use? Now, again, I want to go back to the start of the video. I do not speak for the entire trans community at large. I speak for myself in situations that I am in with my friends. I use whatever bathroom makes people less uncomfortable. If I go to uni, or if I go out to Starbucks, if I go a day out, I will use the disabled toilet. If they do not have one, I will use the men's toilet. Because if I go into the women's bathroom, regardless of how passing I am, I'm going to make someone uncomfortable. And I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. I prefer a disabled toilet because if I go into the men's bathroom looking how I look, I get uncomfortable and I get scared and I feel threatened and I feel in danger. So I use preferably the disabled or a gender neutral toilet. I would not use the women's bathroom because there are people who are trans who make a bad rep for people like me. For people who just want to live and be safe. And I'm not going to go into the women's bathroom because regardless of how I identify, it's not about me. It's about them and their safety. It's about how they feel, it's about what they want. And if my presence there makes them feel unsafe, then I'm not going to be there. Because the last thing I want to do is make someone feel unsafe. So I would rather go into the men's bathroom, have all the stares, hear them make comments when I go into the stall, and feel unsafe myself. Or just hold it. If someone was to invite me into the female bathroom, and basically if I was with a group of female friends and they went, oh no, come on with us, I would still probably say no. Because although it's very nice and my female friends are okay with me being there, my female friends do not speak for female community at large. And for all I know, the bathroom could be empty, we go in, nobody cares. Or we go in and there's somebody in there who feels uncomfortable. And that's all me. So I use whatever bathroom makes less people uncomfortable. Usually a disabled bathroom, preferably a male bathroom, never a female bathroom. Not just now, not yet. Maybe in future when I'm more passing, if I'm more comfortable and people are more accepting, blah, 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 blah. But until I know for certain that I'm going to go in and people are going to be feeling safe and they're not going to be looking over their shoulder or worrying, I'm not stepping in, sadly. So I use the male bathroom. The best situation is that there's gender neutral or gender mixed bathrooms, like when I go out clubbing to my favourite club and they've got the bathrooms are unisex. But no, there is a lot of people that will say, you're a woman, I'm a woman, I want to use the trans bathroom. And now I want to use the women's bathroom, and I get that. I understand that. Because it feels terrible going to the men's bathroom, because it does. It is terrifying, it's scary, the looks you get, and you don't know what kind of man you're in there with. You don't know what kind of men you're in there with. And that's exactly why it's scary for someone like me to go into the women's bathroom. Because you don't know what kind of person I am. I know what kind of person I am. I don't know what kind of person the people in the men's bathroom are, and those women don't know what kind of trans person I am. For all I know, I could be the most dangerous person they're ever going to meet that day. And if that scares them, then I'm not going to put them in that situation. So I go into the men's bathroom, I bite my tongue, I look down, put my hat on, do my business, and I leave. Wash my hands and I leave. My decisions are always based on what makes the most amount of people as comfortable as possible. And if people feel uncomfortable, I change what I'm doing. I move. Because despite what society says, and despite what trans people are fighting for and what I agree with, I personally value other people's comfortability and safety over my own. Regardless of laws, policies, personal morals, whatever, it is my personal belief that if I can make someone comfortable and safe, I must do that. That is not because I'm trans, it's not because I'm LGBT, it's not because I'm on a political side, it's my own moral standing. Very similar to the scene from Spider-Man Homecoming. If I can find it, I'll put it on screen just now.
Look, when you can do the things that I can, but you don't, and then the bad things happen, they happen because of you.
When you can do the things that I can do and you don't, the bad things happen because of you. If I've got the power to make someone feel safe and happy and comfortable, and I don't, they don't feel safe, happy or comfortable because of me. And even worse if I'm the one making them uncomfortable. So I avoid it. I stay away. It's not my place. Okay, that is us for all the questions. I know some of them were kind of political. I know that last one was particularly vague and dark, but I hope I answered a lot of questions that maybe some people have. Again, just before we end, I would really like to premise that I do not speak for trans society at large. I speak for myself. There is a million and billion and trillion different ways to be trans. I am one of them. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. What I say is how I feel, what I experienced, and what I have went through. I do not speak for your trans brother or cousin, friend or pal. But on that note, I'm gonna love yous and leave yous. So remember, be you, have fun, and explore. Bye bye.